Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we've got the Elite 105 Scott Stiner. I'm sure if you watched the unboxing video, you could tell I'm pretty excited to have this in the collection. And man, I'm a little disappointed we never ended up getting the Ultimate Edition that was supposed to come with the WCW stage setup. But in all honesty, I'm still just as happy to have this in my collection. And I may just have to pick up the Rick Steiner as well. But we'll see if I do end up picking him up or not. But before I ramble on too much, why don't we get Big Papa Pump up out the package, shall we? Alrighty, you guys. Now that we've got Big Papa... oh, Jesus. Big Papa Pump out of the package, let's go over the accessories he does come with. He does come with 2 sets of hands, 1 set of fist hands, and a set of mic holding or grappling weapon holding hands, whatever you want to call those. Pretty much acceptable. He, of course, comes with a pair of shades, which they look a little odd, but that's because they're supposed to be hidden underneath the chainmail, helmet thing that he wears. And we'll get a good look at all that on the figure later. Of course, you saw it in the package, but I feel like that doesn't necessarily do it the best of justice, but we'll see. And of course, with the figure being all set up, no need to cut away, we can get straight into the figure himself and getting a good look at that head sculpt. Looks just like Scott Steiner from around 2002-ish, 2003. Even kind of like his TNA days, you could almost kind of use this as. Maybe not exactly by attire, of course. But he does have a pretty damn good head sculpt for his very first action figure. Of course, nothing too big to write home about. But he does look just like Scott Steiner, so of course that's good bonus points. We'll get into the torso here in a second. I want to look at the attire. This attire, red, silver, and black, I definitely dig it. It's a pretty damn decent, safe choice to go with at first. Joints are definitely a little stiff, holy hell. Jeez, I don't like how that pops every time I move them now. But maybe Mattel can adjust that. Because I know MDT has kind of a similar gripe with the joints and stuff moving. And you hear a little pop sound every time a certain joint moves. I don't know if you can hear it, but maybe I can get it to pick up. I don't know if you can hear the bicep bending, but you can definitely hear the knee snap back into place fully. That's just kind of odd, but the attire is definitely great. I think it's a pretty decent safe choice, and I say it's safe choice because they didn't give us a biker shorts attire. We didn't get an NWO Scott Steiner. We didn't get a Steiner Brothers Scott Steiner. At least I don't think this is from his time in WWE. I want to say this is more around the time of his his WWE run, not his WCW. I don't know if I just said that a little ass backwards. I could have, and I'm not going to try to fix that mistake. I already attempted. Anyway, getting into the torso, I want to say not just is the torso, but the arms themselves are completely new sculpts. You've got the really ripped bicep. Just everything all around is shredded on this man. Of course, he is Big Papa Pump for a reason. Freakzilla. A lot of people also call him the Big Bad Booty Daddy, or maybe that's what he called himself. I don't know. Maybe you'll have to ask the ladies. Anyway, this figure though, I'd say it's a pretty damn good one. If you're a Scott Steiner fan, this might just be a must-have to have in your action figure collection. But me being a Scott Steiner fan, even I kind of wouldn't mind seeing some other attires in the near future, but this one is definitely a pretty damn good start. Why don't I get them all accessoried up? Maybe we can get them into a pose or whatever, and we can rate the figure, kind of give my final thoughts on it, and just all around wrap the video up. Even though, we're not at 10 minutes, but this one can be a little bit shorter as he doesn't really have a whole lot. Let's be honest. Alright, now that we've gotten the Scott Steiner all posed up, and I did bring a couple other figures out, just because, Braun Breaker, his nephew, and, well, a good spot monkey, and Dolph Ziggler, so, yeah, get to show off a couple of recent pickups, but, anywho, the Scott Steiner itself, what would I say about it? I've been saying this a lot throughout the review, but it is all around a really good, safe pick, I'd say, for the first go around of a Scott Steiner Elite. One thing I would love to see, of course, it probably isn't going to happen for just an Elite figure. This would probably have to be like an Ultimate Edition Scott Steiner, but I would love to see the chainmail, like, headdress or, like, helmet be more of like a actual chain or a plastic chain, so it wraps around the head a little bit different. Of course, something not too heavy, as I don't want it to just casually knock the figure, bring the figure down on its own, but something that wraps a little bit better around the head sculpt than this, as I do have a hard time getting the glasses to like properly stay in the spot that they need to be in. Like just now I actually had to push them in, but it's whatever. I can't really say I'm complaining too much, as it still does look good either way. I just would love to see it. But that's the great thing about the possibilities that we could get with this, and that's just all the different attires of Scott Steiner, the different eras of Scott Steiner that we can get under the WWE release. Of course, with him being in WWE and WCW, there's a lot of stuff to go through there. But on that note, I think we're going to give him a solid, let's give him a good solid 7.5 out of 10. There wasn't really a whole lot about this figure that I had to say. Pretty good standard basic attire. Of course, pretty standard accessories. And with that, I don't know. I think a 7.5 is a good rating. And we can say, I don't know, a good 4. Yeah, no, a good 3 out of 5 stars. Just to give him a star rating, because honestly, I don't know. It's a mix between 3 and 3.5. I want to say 3.5, but I don't know. There's just not a whole lot to it, I guess. Not necessarily disappointed. Definitely happy to have it, especially for a first time in the line figure. Nowadays, unless it's an NXT guy, you don't really see that too often. But the fact that 105 series later, mind you, I've been collecting since maybe about Elite Series 3. I had the blue John Cena from one of those early waves and the purple Rey Mysterio from one of those early waves. I've been collecting since then. Sadly, I don't have those figures anymore, so of course, it's not like I really have too much proof of it, but I don't know. It's just crazy to see that someone on the caliber of a Scott Steiner is actually finally getting figures in the Mattel line. So, Never in 100 years would I have thought that with some of the things he said about Triple H and the company, but hey, I mean, CM Punk returned after all, so never say never, I guess, really means never say never, at least with professional wrestling. But on that note, if you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, that's alright, I don't really give a shish. But if you did like the video, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free. And the day YouTube decides to make us pay for it, like we have to, I don't know if I'll be a part of this platform. But yeah, that's besides the point. If you're looking forward to more action figure reviews and or pick fed content, I can say right now, I am about a quarter of the way through night 2 of the pick fed for the holiday tour, so keep an eye out for that. Probably won't be this week, as I do kind of have some plans on Saturday, but other than that, there might be another action figure review this week. We'll just have to see. And with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and deuces, my dudes.